Gyaku yokomen ushiroski. Hey, hey. Gyaku yokomen ushiroski. Hey, hey. So those were the next 5 in the series of 20 Jo suburi. They were Shomen Uchikomi, Renzoku Uchikomi, Minuch Gerangaishi, Minuch Ushiroski, and Gyaku Yokomen Ushiroski. Okay, those 5 all begin with the Shomen stance with the Jo. So I have a really interesting story, sort of funny, sort of embarrassing, but it's a story about taking a really bad fall, okay? In Aikido, we practice falling down all the time because when we practice with partners, we're training with each other and we need to learn how to take a fall without hurting ourselves. We practice, we practice, we practice. We practice slowly, slowly each time. And we build up those repetitions because slow is smooth and smooth is fast, okay? Don't try to do it fast first. It'll be awful. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, okay? So recently we were on vacation and we were in a place where we got to ride horses in the ocean. It was beautiful. It was a lovely day. We're riding through the water. We had several guides with us. My wife and my daughter Emma were riding along. Everybody's doing great. Well, my horse was a little bit feisty, as you can imagine, and that horse wanted to gallop. Well, I've been on horses before, and I know how to gallop. And so we got up onto the beach. We're heading back to the stables, and the guide says, "Hey man, you wanna go fast?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." So he said to the horse, and that horse took off running. And I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome." I'm galloping down this empty beach, beautiful, crystal blue waters, everything's beautiful. And I'm just galloping, man, it's exhilarating. And all of a sudden, this old fisherman, an old man, comes walking out from the palm trees and the bushes, going over to check his fishing line that was in the ocean. Well, my horse was not prepared for that, and obviously neither was I. So the horse jinks really hard and stops. And of course, the person on top of that horse did not stop. And so I was holding on for dear life, and the saddle shifted, and I went off that horse, okay, head first. Well, as you guys know, I've had some pretty significant problems with my shoulders. And like I always tell you, the biological organism will always try to protect the head, okay? And because I have practiced slowly, repetitively, year after year, my body instinctively turned and I landed square on my hip in sand, which was about as hard as concrete. Literally, when I went back to look at the tracks, the dent was only like this deep. And I'm somewhere over 200 pounds. So I hit that sand so hard, but I avoided my shoulder, I avoided my head, and there was a big indentation where my hand sank into the sand as well. I slapped the sand just like I would have done with a high fall. Now, I have to admit, when I was laying there for a second, I thought, I'm dead. Or even worse, I broke my hip. Here comes the guide, galloping up, and he's like, "Hey man, get up and shake it off, walk it off, man." And I'm like, "I'll walk if my body's not broken." So I'm walking and walking. So anyways, my hip isn't broken. The bruising that I had looked like somebody splashed me with purple paint all across my body. But I wanted to share that story because this is a good example. I'm lucky. I consider myself lucky that my body did what Aikido has programmed it to do over slow, repetitive movements over the years. I'm going to turn 50 this year, and my bones are not as sturdy as they used to be, and that was a really, really dangerous situation where I could have broken a hip. And I thought that having shoulder surgery would have been a difficult thing to go through. So I wanted to just talk about falling for a few minutes and make sure you guys have a little review so you guys who are practicing at home and are new to this can continue to do so. I've got a El Cheapo mat here. Okay, you don't have to have anything special. It can be anything from a yoga mat to a particularly thick rug, to a couple of blankets put down on a floor, or you can order a used mat from the internet, no problems. So the basic sit fall I want you to recall is basically this. If you stand in Hanmi, fold your leg under you and sit down. You can see that my foot is the bottom of the foot up. Sit down, crisscross applesauce, okay? Your body is curved, your knees are bent, your chin is to your chest so you don't hit your head. Your hands stay in front of you, okay? You rock back and forth and come up to your knee, and then you stand up, okay? Then switch. Fold the back leg under, come down to your knee, have a seat like your crisscross applesauce. Keep your knees bent, your back curved, your chin to your chest, your hands forward. You rock back and forth, then come up to your knee, and then stand up. Okay? I'll show you one from this direction. Okay? Okay, so here's some refresher for you guys for your forward rolls. You should always start with the most basic position with 4 points on the mat. Okay? Knees and hands. I'm gonna roll forward on my right shoulder. So my right shoulder goes all the way down to the mat, and my right arm and hand push my knee back. And as you can see, my shoulder goes all the way to the mat, and my head is turned to the side. At no time does my head ever touch the mat. This back leg will kick over the top of my head. Starting on all fours, rolling on my left side. My left shoulder goes down to the mat and my left hand pushes my knee back. I'm looking behind me at my foot. My head turns to the side and does not touch the mat. This leg will kick directly over my head. So I'm not going to spend too much time reviewing those things. I just wanted to give you those visuals so you can continue practicing at home. I'm really excited that I've been able to share this time with you guys. I've been really looking forward to it. Please make space in your day to practice these basic ways of being, because when you take a fall, when you're practicing taking a fall, it's like when you get pushed down by life, okay? It's like when you are in an emergency and you feel like you're falling apart. It's like you're falling down. You know how to fall down. You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to move from your center. You know how to rock and roll and get back up. You know how to protect your head. So many of us are really anxious about what's gonna happen next. When do we go back to school? What do we do next? When will life go back to normal? We can't control any of those factors in our lives. All we can control is what we can do. And one thing we can do is practice how to fall down, practice how to be centered, practice how to get back up and keep going. I really love how Aikido gives us that ability to have that metaphor and have that clear connection between what we're practicing in the dojo or on a mat in our driveway and what's happening in the real world. So I want you to remember the concept of ma'ai, okay? Distance between you and someone else. Expand that awareness. Look for potential places where you might be exposed to the virus. Your ma'ai might be that you need to not touch somebody else's bicycle as you go past them in the neighborhood because they've touched that bicycle. It might be awareness of the mail, okay? How many places has that mail been? Don't touch that mail, or do it with gloves, or wash your hands afterwards, okay? And clearly with other people. That ma'ai is something that could prevent other people from being sick. It's our job as warriors to cultivate the spirit that's in us to protect those people around us. And we have to work hard to forge that spirit. So, again, thank you so much for joining me. You guys go to our website, River City Aikido. You can can also search under Virginia Aikido Dojo, and I encourage you to hit subscribe and like, and I look forward to continuing this conversation in the near future. So again, thank you for watching this episode of the Distance Dojo, because the real dojo is inside you.